Hello everyone, today is lesson 2 and it's a sonnet number 18 by William Shakespeare. First question that pops in our minds is, what's a sonnet? You will find it in your book, in your student book on page 9. Our question is, what's a sonnet? Shakespeare is the person who copied the sonnets from an Italian poet. He admired it and hence he used it as a poetic way instead of his poems. Sometimes he would write sonnets, sometimes he would write poems, regular poems. Shakespearean sonnet rules and rhyme schemes. It's different. Shakespearean sonnets are broken into 4 sections called quatrains. They maintain a strict rhyme scheme. Strict rhyme scheme means that it rhymes. Every line rhymes with the next one. And this is a very difficult way of writing. It takes a lot of effort to find the same word that would rhyme with the previous one. The sonnet must have 14 lines, and each line has 10 syllables. It's called Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day? From the title, you can anticipate and predict what is the sonnet about. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thee means you, which is an old English language. Shall I compare thee? It's a question. And at the same time, it's a rhetorical question. It's not a normal question. Rhetorical question when you know the answer, but you still ask the question. That's a rhetorical question. The sonnet 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate, rough winds to shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But the eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe, or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. It's old English, but it's simplified one. It's not that difficult to understand, and sometimes actually I think it's easier than most of other regular poems because it's very easy. It's about love and about admiration. It's one of Shakespeare's easiest. Let's brainstorm the question. What is compared in the first 2 lines of the poem? The loved one is compared to a dying summertime and found to be more lovely and more temperate. Exaggeration is accompanied usually in poems to exaggerate about love and exaggerate about feelings because these makes poems very unique. Time cannot make a fool love. Time brings changes to the loved one and to circumstances, but these changes should not and do not weaken real love, which remains constant. It's a very simple idea. The opening question, which is a rhetorical question, which is the title of the poem, of the sonnet, it embodies love and that love doesn't change by time and so on. What is the main theme of the sonnet? Every piece of literature we study all over the world has a theme, has an idea. The theme is the main idea. The general theme of the sonnet is that what is written about in poetry is eternal, specifically in this poem. When you write about a person or you dedicate a book to a certain person, you make this person immortal because this piece of literature would live through time. as this piece of sonnet that we are studying here. It's been written centuries ago, and we're studying about it in 2020. This is how literature lives through time, and it survives, and it grows, and it becomes glorious when we study it more. And every day, one person around the world somewhere else is studying the same sonnet in a different way than us. This is the beauty of poems and sonnets. Shakespeare is admiring a woman and saying that her beauty will never fade because he is putting it into verse. He knows how great his writings are. He's aware that literature would live through time, and this is why he decided to make his feelings immortal to this person by writing a verse about her, so everyone will get to learn about it throughout time, even after he dies. He begins by comparing her to a summer day and then saying she is much more beautiful than a summer's day. Summer is usually connected for all of us with happiness, beaches. The sun is always shining, there are no rains, no gloomy weather. It's completely the opposite from winter and gloominess, which is usually beautiful. So he's saying that her love is his love for her because she is so beautiful, because love and admiration are clearly embodied throughout the sonnet. Figurative language, as we always ask for it. The entire poem is an extended metaphor comparing a summer's day to Shakespeare's lover's eternal beauty. Quatrain, compared to a summer's day, she's better than a summer's day because she is more lovely and temperate. In lines 3 and 4, Shakespeare compares how summer eventually ends, but his love for her and her beauty never will. Quatrain 2, Shakespeare compares the ever-changing seasons with his lover's unchanging beauty. He's comparing her beauty to the 4 seasons of the year. The seasons change from summer to autumn, autumn to winter, winter to spring, and then the whole round goes on and on again. And these changes doesn't happen to his love for her and to her beauty as well. Couplet, he sums up the poem, stating his love will live forever, and it will never change as long as this poem exists. And till today, we still study this poem or this sonnet, so he was correct. Imagery in every sonnet and every poem, images are beautiful, and in this one, they are very distinguished. Imagery in creative writing is how one or more of the reader's senses respond to words, descriptions, and languages. It's used to paint vivid pictures. Vivid pictures means alive, that you feel that he's painting the whole scene, and you can see it with your eyes, in your imagination. It makes it so real. Vivid pictures in the minds of readers, listeners. Imagery places the reader in the scene, poem, if well written, which is true here in this situation. An author creates imagery through using similes and metaphors. We will brainstorm what's a metaphor, because I'm sure most of you have forgotten. Metaphors finds a similarity between two unrelated things. For instance, John is a beast on the football field. Is he a real beast? No. So it's a comparison. They're comparing a person to a beast on the football field. So it embodies how he plays. He plays fiercely like a beast. He plays wildly like a beast. Meanwhile, similes are different. Similes compare two things that are not alike, except in one way. Like or as is used when working with similes. When you find the word like or the word as, you know it's a simile. Her skin is as white as snow. Snow, as, white. So there you go. It's a simile. Her skin is as white as the snow. Comparing a person's white skin, it's imagery about how white she is. Snow is completely white, completely pale. Her skin as white as snow. Okay? Figurative language, we have other poetic techniques like personification. Within the poem, Shakespeare also used the following technique, which is personification, the attribution of human qualities to objects. For example, rough winds do shake the darling buds of May in line 3. For example, too hot the eye of heaven shakes in line 5, and gotten his gold complexion dimmed. Often, sorry, his gold complexion dimmed in line 6. He is giving heaven a human trait, saying heaven has an eye, which is a metaphor for the sun. For example, nor shall death brag though wanderest in his shade. In line 11, he gave death a human trait because death cannot brag. Death is not human. Okay? Our assignment was called assignment, not activities. Seriously, first you will have to create your own sonnet and you will follow the same steps like Shakespeare. Pick your theme and use figurative language to emphasize your ideas. Secondly, write an essay about Shakespeare's popularity throughout times, not a biography. I will not accept any biography written and copied from Wikipedia. It will not be accepted. Mention the reason why his work is still alive. Answer this question, guys. This is a very important question, and I think from last year you already know, and we have studied this. So it will not be difficult for you, and you can easily find out about Shakespeare in every website you will go through. Mention the reason why his work is still alive till today after so many centuries. Why is he the father of literature, and how we have been learning so much from his work till today. Read the sonnet well. Extract the figurative language, which I already pointed out a few of them. This PowerPoint slide will be on Class Dojo for your help, in case if you would like to go through it again. Extract the figurative language, which we will use for vocabulary activity next lesson. Okay, we will use the difficult words that you will pick, or the words that you found they were difficult but you got it from the context clue. Okay, this is very important. Contact me as well for any inquiries or if you have any difficulties. Best of luck and see you in next lesson.